Time is running out for the city of Buffalo to use the remaining 3/4 of a $2 million federal grant for lead removal. The city got this money back in 2021. The Buffalo Urban Renewal Agency, Bureau, set a goal of remediating 110 homes. But 4 years later, only 18 units have been abated. Investigative Post reporting that the program ends in less than 2 months. And if the city doesn't use up the remaining money, it could be clawed back by the federal government. Ijaz Jasil reported this story for Investigative Post, and she joins us live here tonight. I've got to tell you, Ijaz, as soon as I read this article, I was like, what in the world is going on here? Lead poisoning is such a problem in the city of Buffalo, and you get this $2 million, and 4 years later, so little work has happened. I think everybody is wondering why.
Yeah, it's quite astonishing, Michael, especially when you consider the fact that the city said in the past, we don't get the funding, the county does, and now here we have $2 million. So some of the reasons as to why the money hasn't been spent is this program was enrolled during the COVID-19 pandemic. So the senior director of Bureau said the inspectors were not able to do the lead abatement work. Another reason is that they are saying there aren't enough contractors, though interestingly, I've been hearing this is something the city's been saying for about 20 years now, so I'm not quite sure what the disconnect is. But there were also a lot of weird criteria in place that made a lot of people excluded. This was only limited to 4 census tracts in the beginning. There was a weird thing about a lien being put on the homes that made it unattractive to homeowners. So by the time HUD cleared out some of those extra criteria, it was kind of already too late.
And it's my understanding the city has basically asked the federal government, hey, give us some more time to do this. And I think there have already been some extensions, right? And the federal government is now saying no?
Yeah, that's correct. The city did receive an extension last year, and from different sources that I've talked to, getting a second extension from HUD is very rare, so I'm unsure as to why the city thought there would be another extension for this year. But HUD did unfortunately deny the request, and so now they have until July 4th to get the rest of that money committed.
I would say, you know, there is a new administration, and now acting mayor Chris Scanlon hasn't been in office for that long. The previous mayor oversaw this program during the vast majority of its existence. But do you get any sense that this is a priority for the people running the city right now?
You know, unfortunately, I can't gauge it. It's hard because this program being run through Bureau, a lot of people that I've spoken with who are experts in this say that's the mistake there. That unfortunately, because it's being run like other programs through the agency, it's not being used most effectively. The funds aren't being dispersed as most effectively as they could be. And unfortunately, there's really not the wherewithal in our city government to handle something that is such a huge crisis in the city. But we've seen cities like Rochester, Syracuse, Cleveland, you know, do similar things with similar money. But unfortunately, it's just not coming together in Buffalo. And there's a disconnect within city government. Yeah,
that's what I was going to ask you. I've got about 30 seconds left. Comparing to other cities, I mean, we heard the excuse there about the pandemic. Of course, we are now several years removed from the worst of the pandemic. I mean, other places were able to figure this out? Yeah, they were. And, you know, in the story, as I reported, unfortunately, we saw the same thing happen back in 1995 in the city of Buffalo, where we gave back over $3 million. You know, you wonder why the city couldn't get it right in all these years. Unfortunately, I think it's just a need for more strategic planning and people to really understand what the grant proposal entails and how this money can be put in the pockets of those who need it. Something we'll be asking the candidates for mayor over the next few months as they're out on the campaign trail. Make sure you go to investigativepost.org and read Ijaz's full story. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.